Oh, hey, my name is Jen. I'm a stand-up comedian.
And I also create and pitch reality TV shows. Okay, so it's like no reservations, but this time we make reservations.
Along the way, I find and meet some pretty interesting people that I think you should know about. So I'm interviewing them here on the internet. Get in. We're probably going down a rabbit hole. Hey, this is Jen, and this is the Internet According to Jen, and something I want to talk about is the early internet, because it's one of my favorite things in the whole world. Well, it turns out that I've loved the internet for a very long time, specifically for about 20 years since my parents got us our first computer. They sat us down, they had a very serious talk with us. They were like, look, this is a computer with internet. This isn't just something for you to talk to boys from school all day, you know. So I listened, and I only talked to grown men in chat rooms into all hours of the night. Everybody was doing it. Don't do it anymore. Don't. That was a mistake. Look, the other thing I like to do was submit jokes to a list called Christian and Scott's Interactive Top 10 List. Now, they really experienced for the first time like what going viral was like, or like what it could mean for your words to travel across the entire planet in a second. So they ran this joke website, and I was a 13-year-old girl who would run off the bus and submit my jokes that would be published on this list they curated every Monday and Thursday. And I reached out to one of the founders of the sites, Christian Shelton, to talk a little bit about what made that site special and to try to figure out why, as a 13-year-old girl, it was so important to me to get my jokes published on the internet. And you're going to get to read them too. So stick around and enjoy.
In 1995, you couldn't publish a web page unless you had sort of like the really advanced technology that Scott and I had, right? So this was a chance for people to sort of get their name on the internet. It's not hard to get your name on the internet now, right? Yeah, anyone can post a YouTube video or a blog post or anything like that. So my name's Christian Shelton. In 1995, my college roommate and I, college roommate Scott Atwood and I, put together an interactive top 10 list. It was one of the first websites out there that had this sort of features. We had posted topics once or twice a week for a top 10 list and solicited suggestions and then compiled the top 10 list and posted it for humor. We ran the site for 20 years, finishing in 2015 with over 2,000 lists published during that time. I think it was a few months in, maybe a year in, and I was checking through the server logs, and I thought, I wonder where we've gotten hits from. That's where you can just like page through them on your own because it didn't take that long. And I noticed that we had some from all 7 continents in 1 week. That's pretty cool. There was someone from McMurdo Station down in Antarctica who had logged in, and that's when I think that was cool for us, because that's why we were doing this, is try to see like what kind of reach could this have.
You experienced that in a way like a decade before anybody had sort of had a name for that in a way?
That's right. It was a different experience too.
Because I think what's cool about this site right now still is that it's still just like such a time capsule.
Like there was one that was like reasons Al Gore's not going to consider another run. And
right.
Like there's something.
Or Chelsea Clinton's first time, at Stanford or whatever.
People now have like so many ways to get their name on the internet or to access the internet, but in a lot of ways that came from sites like this and communities like this.
But I think that what you created and what you guys made together was really, really impactful for a lot of people. And I think that it will sort of stand the test of time of being something that was like really significant in what is just the Wild West of, internet content.
Yeah, it was certainly the Wild West. The internet was deep and not broad, right? The way you found stuff was like, we tracked how we got people, right? You can get the referral links, right? And by the end, it was all, a Google search, right? It referred them. But in the beginning, that wasn't it at all. It was somebody's web page had a link on it, like, I found a cool, here's the cool stuff I found on the web, right? And you link to like other people's lists of cool things, and you link to like our list or something like that. And that was really important way of finding stuff. So you just kept clicking through links, right, to get to where you wanted to go. You really found things, right? But sort of like you were digging through, dirt or something, right, to find nuggets of things. So that's how it was found. I think that is, and ours wasn't the only list like that, obviously, or not the only site like that, obviously. There were lots of other sites that did that, and I think that was very much the feeling and the flavor of what the World Wide Web was about.
I know that I made the list a couple times.
If you know what the little phrases that you would have used.
I think it was the same as my AOL screen name, which would have been a mix between my name and my zodiac sign, which was Gemini. Gemini.
That's very cute.
Mini. Yeah.
Let me see if I can figure out.
And also, by the way, I was like 13 years old, and so in my mind, it was just none of my friends did it. It was just like this thing that I did by myself with thousands of strangers on the internet. So for me, it was like I was like running home like off the bus from 8th grade, and being like, "Did I make the list?" Or
I hope I didn't contribute to juvenile delinquency. Mini. Yeah.
In case you were wondering if this website still exists, next slide, please. It does. Please, and look what I found. Now, here's an extra special treat for you guys, because I did not make this PowerPoint presentation. My fiance did. And so I have not read these jokes. So I will be reading these jokes to you guys right now live for the first time. The year 2002 and 3. Now, of course, I asked my fiance, I was like, if there's something like really embarrassing or dumb, will you tell me? And he was like, of course not. So here we go. Top 10 things evolution has in store for us. That's fine with me. Number 4, mothers will actually have eyes in the back of their heads. That's pretty good. Top 10 signs the Backstreet Boys are CIA spies. And next slide, please. Let's find mine. Number 8. The government needed a new way to infiltrate top secret slumber party information. William Shakespeare's top 10 pet peeves. And next slide for my answer. Wow, number 4 again. Someday a man would rhyme cat and hat and make more money than his place Let's take a look at this last list. Okay, this one I was nervous about, frankly. Michael Jackson's top 10 pet peeves, and next slide for my answer. Greenpeace nagging about his face not being biodegradable. Next slide, please. Oh, we are out of time. I'm so sorry. That's my time. Thank you guys so much.